Hello, Ken Block fans. And who cannot be a fan of Ken Block? He was such a great driver, putting out crazy footage of driving cars and doing all sorts of other stunts and the like. I think he was a more skilled driver than a lot of professional race car drivers. Like, I'm talking like F1, possibly rally car drivers as well. Okay, well, this bottle's been sitting in my bin for like over a month, maybe 2 months, because that Knight Rider YM model is such a depressing thing. I was afraid to open this, but let's get this out of the way. So YM model, 65 Ford Mustang Hoonicorn, but this is version 2. There was a version 1, I guess, but this I think is version 2 based on this livery. And let's see here. This might actually be licensed, I'm not sure. It doesn't say so, but it's got this logo on there. So version 2, the real car in life, that is, it has a 1400 horsepower output out of a 6.7 liter Roush Yates V8. So the original version 1 only had 845 horsepower. And then they're running on methanol. I believe methanol is like drag racing car fuel. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe that's version 1. Yeah, maybe. Okay. And I think it was planned to go up Pikes Peak. I'm not sure if it went up Pikes Peak. I think that's the actual photo of maybe going up Pikes Peak. But I don't know. I didn't look up the article any further than that. So let's take a look here at these photos. I'm not going to take this off the base. Too many sensitive parts. Well, I mean, the livery and stuff looks pretty close. I'm not sure if the color of the wheels isn't matching this model, but it depends on the camera and the monitor, and then what you're looking at. So, well, actually, it depends on the camera that took this photo, and now it depends on the monitor that's putting out this color, and then it depends on this phone taking this video, and now it depends on what you're looking at. So there's like 3-4 layers of color variation going on. So you can't take color into account for any online videos. And yeah, there's the engine. I'm not sure why I'm showing that, but that's a cool engine. I'm not sure why I'm comparing it to the model. Let me reposition to some better light here. There we go. And let's start on this side today. Start with the front wheel. I don't know who makes those wheels, but I like them. They're awesome looking. They're retro, but seem like they're pretty modern. They almost look like they'd be wheels you'd find on a 4x4 truck. A custom 4x4. And knowing this, it has decals. These top-end resin brands, almost in all instances, use decals. They don't want to tampo print stuff. I don't know really why, when Hot Wheels can do it, but yeah, so there's going to be some air pockets along the way. What I am noticing in this vent behind the behind this front tire, is some sort of photo etched logo or something. It's so shiny. Let me hit focus again. I don't know what that is. Some sort of logo. RTR. Okay. So yeah, back to the wheels, sorry. There's 5 lug nuts there. They're passing air, which makes me wonder if there's brakes back there. So let me get the flashlight out. We're at 200 lumens. Well, that's way too bright. I see something right there. It's so small. I can't tell if there's anything in there. Yeah, but there is or isn't. I guess it doesn't matter because you're not gonna see it with your naked eye if it has brakes. All right, moving on. So yeah, decals. Yeah, see, there's an air pocket right here. So that's just not realistic looking. It's not good. But otherwise, all the actual sponsorship is nice and crisp because it is a decal. Perhaps that's why they choose to do it. Maybe the text is just crisper on a decal than tampo printing, but I don't really find fault with tampo printed sponsorship either. So We'll get to the interior later. The tires are nicely rounded, so that's good, even though they're pretty low profile. There's this vent right here, and there's a separate piece going on to scoop air in, and that must be photo etched metal, just based on how thin it is. It's thinner than a toothpick, so that's cool that they folded a piece of metal to become a vent, and then they decaled it as well. Alright, going to the front, we have plastic headlights, and there's some, the black X as if they taped them off, so that's kind of neat. I can't really see too much into the headlight because of it, but that's fine. And you can see the stars here. Oh, but you see here, I think this is a separate decal or a foil sticker. It's actually floating right now. Yeah, so hold on. I'm going to press that down. So be mindful of that. That's why you don't want to take it off the base. If I was fondling this, I probably would have peeled that off with my fingers. Alright, some air gaps, of course. Yeah, not very attractive. This chin spoiler is super thin as well. I think that's a piece of photo etched metal. Just again, being thinner than a dental pick. It can't be plastic, it can't be cast metal. But it's not matching the bottom very well. They didn't bend it properly or glue enough so it's tight. This side seems pretty good, but this side is gappy. There's some sort of intercooler there, and then some sort of chrome sticker in that intercooler, which I'm afraid to touch. The Mustang Pony here is a faux, I don't know, some sort of chrome sticker. I don't think it's a piece of metal. I think it's a foil sticker of some sort. And then the grill is pretty interesting. It looks like a bunch of dots. I can't tell if that's a piece of metal. Hold on here. I can feel those dots. Maybe it's a molded plastic or something. Alright, so nice details up front, that's for sure. Going around to this side, let's make sure there's no problems. Yeah, there's that chrome logo, the vent, the door handles. Didn't even see those before. It's so dark. But they're sticking out, and let's try this side. I think there's an air gap there. Yeah, there's a little extra plastic flash. Or actually, that's probably a decal. But it actually is a hollow door handle. So I think that's kind of neat. Alright, back to this engine here. Yeah, so we have the blue and the red matching that photograph. Unfortunately, I think there's a little too much paint or something filling in this exhaust pipe. But this one actually is pretty good. It's round, it's dark down there. Some sort of foil thing here. Dots for maybe the hood releases. So those are different application. But again, look at this air pocket. Not cool. The induction here, and then the intake pipes are painted silver. We have a printing of the riveting of the plexiglass window, and I think that's on the back surface, but you can also see this air gap of the windshield. So this windshield just isn't glued down there, right? It's literally scooping air. That's not cool. Alright, there's a decal on that, and then again a really shiny sticker here. This 43 logo, Monster Energy drink there. So yeah, more printing on the back window for the little rivet marks or whatever holds those windows in place, and then 4 more of these silver dots representing the quick release pins or whatnot. This wing here has some silver dots all over it, probably riveted onto the body, and this stuff is plastic. It's too thick to be metal, so that's interesting. That's really weird, because if I look at the side photograph, this is a really thin piece of sheet metal on the real car. So it's weird that they wouldn't use a piece of photo etch and just print onto it, when they're using photo etch there and there. Very odd decision. Okay, but they do have nicely molded rivet dots and stuff, so maybe that's why they chose to do it instead of just having flat graphics. Alright, the taillights are looking pretty good. You got clear red taillights there, and they're molded, so they look like Mustang taillights to me. And then again, that shiny logo, and then we have a sticker right here. I think that's the fuel filler, right, on a Mustang of this year. And we have the decal showing some carbon fiber work here. And then the whole diffuser. Now the vertical veins I think are photo etched metal, but the top thing is plastic, just based on the thickness of it all. Okay, what's going on here? I didn't even notice this. This skirt is so low to the ground. Is it? Touch it. Is it part of the car or not? Because it looks like there's a gap here. What does the side look like? I gotta look at the photos. No, I think that belongs on the car. It's like a little bat wing coming out of the side of this thing. It's got a carbon fiber decal on it, but it's not actually floating above the road. So, oh, see, it like fell off or something. It's supposed to be pressed up against the bottom of the car. So, YM model is going downhill for sure. That Knight Rider car was a disaster in my opinion. This quality control here of that's not cool. So I'm losing confidence in this brand. That's for sure. Maybe it's already lost. These side vents though, I think these might actually be metal pieces here, so that's pretty impressive. And it looks like there's silver back behind it. Maybe there's a radiator there. Yeah, see? Look at that. There's like a grill behind those three slats, or the vanes, if you want to call them that. You can see the tire tread on the front tire pretty easily. It looks like a modern tire. I think they're Toyo tires. Well, there could be sponsorship of the tire brand on here. I just didn't see it. Okay, well, that's the outside. Oh, no, wait, a little more. So much detail on these resin things. Look at this front bumper. It's got a carbon fiber treatment on it as well, and it's quite thin, but I think that's probably a piece of plastic. You know, it's much thicker than this thing. So it's a real letdown those side skirts are on the ground and not on the car. It really bothers me. Yeah, and then because they're decals, I'm afraid to pick at it because I'll just tear up the carbon graphic. So that's horrible. It's not cool. This base, by the way, has got this funky like carbon fiber fake wrap on it. So whether or not that's gonna fall apart in a few years is questionable. I find that fake leather and stuff always comes off the fabric backing. So I'm not sure if this is the same type of plastic as fake leather. This is a piece of metal with a sticker or probably a decal on it. So it's nice that it tells you exactly what the car is, so that's cool. It also tells you kind of YM model. It's hard to read, and then it tells you there's around 500 of these made. Alright, I guess the interior is the last place to go. So we have the silver roll cage. Oh boy, hold on, this is why I got the suspended camera mount, so I can actually just let the thing sit there. Now, let's see. I have two hands to do this. Ooh, that's looking pretty neat. I'll zoom in. Let's focus again. So that steering wheel is pretty cool. You know, molded nicely. Some sort of decal in the middle with the bolt pattern. You can now see the instrument gauges on a carbon fiber dashboard. You can see the stick shift and the e-brake or the handbrake or whatnot. And I read an article saying that there's no clutch on the foot area. It's all tied into this special transmission. It's a rally transmission. So you don't actually have to engage your foot to use the clutch. Okay, so that's something to learn about. Oh, look at this sticker on the roof. Looks like it was floating right there, but I pressed it down. Stickers, not good. Decals, not good. Oh boy. As to why that stick shift or whatever that rod is gold, I guess it's just style, I guess. It's not for function. So there's two seats. You can take a passenger along and give him a heart attack as Ken Block drives around. Any foot pedals? I cannot tell. Camera's wobbling on the suspension mount. I don't think so. I can't see it. What's the door panel look like? Yeah, there is some door panel details of some sort. A little silver bit there. Okay. Anything behind these seats? Well, the seats by themselves have harness decals and the Sparco seat belts. You can see the roll cage behind the seat as well. Looks like it's silver back there. I'm not sure what's going on back there. Maybe it's a fuel tank or something. I don't see any sort of fire extinguisher. You would think there'd be a fire suppression system, but maybe there is in the real car. So I think the door panel is actually pretty good looking. There's actually a lot of details of that door panel. Okay, it's awfully low though, which is kind of weird. Alright, so I guess that's good enough for an interior. Pretty nice. It's really helped by the fact that there's actually no side windows. And just based on the fact that you can see this windshield being under tension, I'm afraid that's going to pop loose, and going that back is going to be really difficult. Luckily the rear glass is a lot flatter, but even still, there's a bubble there. There's like a warp right there where I'm touching, so that's not good. But I guess you kind of have to have at least a windshield for the car to look realistic, unless it's a demolition derby car or something, which this actually looks like. So I told you the issues that you might have with these high-end resin cars. When you have this many parts, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. I do kind of suspect, maybe those windows are just designed poorly. They're too big to fit into the recesses or whatnot. And then the side wings just touching the ground, that's just poor construction on the assembler's part. But if you can tell me who makes a nicer looking 1/64 scale Hoonicorn V2, please do. I'm pretty sure it's this, right? So if you like this car, this is the best rendition of it. I just like Ken Block, so I don't actually even love this car. I think I prefer a standard 65 Mustang over the look of this thing. Alright, well, I guess that's it. Hopefully YM Model will clean up their quality control. They're slowly becoming Scale Mini, which is the worst resin brand, by the way. I've had the worst luck from those guys. The best luck I've had is like MY64. So anyways, I guess I'll see you in the next resin model review. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you then.